Hey, I'm Martha Messick, and I am wanting to be an artistic educator with Matrix because I have a huge passion for the industry. My passion for this industry started about 5 or 6 years ago when I unfortunately was going through chemotherapy and was really sick. For me, my hair growing back was a big thing. It was really hard for me to actually go to a stylist and not have a mullet. I was really worried about the new growth and growing out my hair without looking like I fell out of a bad 70s movie. For me, this was one of the most important things because my hair has always been an example of who I am. How I've worn my hair has always been something that has inspired me. Skincare was a huge thing, turning different colors in your skin, basically being sick as well. I didn't have anyone that could educate me on how to take these flaws and make them me again. So I decided that I wanted to go to cosmetology school and one day become an educator. My grandmother was in education and I always wanted to do that. Of course, I'm not interested in teaching high school students. I want to teach the adults. And I never knew until I got into cosmetology school that that was a thing where you could actually work for a company and do education and go into salons and go into schools and teach. It's never really been on my heart to go and be an instructor out of school. Because I want to teach people more than just passing the state board test. My passion is vivid hair color, as you can see. That's where I get a lot of my inspiration from, is bright, vibrant colors. So working for Matrix, I think that that would be the ultimate goal, especially this year. It's where I've been focused the most the last couple of years, getting back into the industry and building myself and just proving to myself that I can do this has been a big thing. And when it finally got put on my table, I kind of hit the ground running with it and am so excited about this opportunity. So thank you guys for listening to my video. But I get a lot of inspiration from Philip Wolf and Zito. I have followed tons of their videos and learned a ton of their techniques and actually got to meet Philip this year. And I was in heaven. I never thought that that would happen, but it was like probably one of the coolest moments of my life this year so far. And so getting to see him do these techniques and teach us new hair colors and styles and cutting techniques was really cool to see at one-on-one. And it was really inspirational. Like seeing him on that stage just kind of brought clarity to myself that this is something that I can do, I will do, and I can't wait to do. Getting back to my inspirational piece, I decided that it's Easter, it's springtime, and there are tons of tulips everywhere in my hometown here. And they are beautiful and bright and vibrant, and I feel like that reflects my personality and that those would be perfect because I do love the beautiful bright colors. For my model here, I did actually I used the So Color Cult Simi line, and I did Flamingo Fuchsia and Starfish Coral from the Aquatics line and blended those together. And I'll show you guys my inspirational piece was based off of this picture with all the pretty pinks and oranges, some greens, obviously no greens today, but the pinks and oranges I thought were beautiful. And then of course some tulips, but basically what I did throughout her hair color was I sectioned her out into 4 quadrants like I do for almost all of my vivid colors. And I basically sectioned her out, clipped her back, sectioned her off in littler sections. And I applied my Flamingo Fuchsia here at the base and brought it about halfway down the shaft, where I then applied the Starfish Coral. And then I took my hands, my fingers, my 2 fingers, pinched it between here and just slid the colors together. And they just made this really pretty corally color. And I love how at my base, it made kind of this darker pinkish orange. I thought those turned out really pretty. So then I continued around her whole entire head, continued around her whole head, into the back where we had it into 2 separate actually pieces here. And I blended those, just worked my way up and blended them all together. And for her haircut, that was something that I wanted to keep kind of a single layer. She has a little bit of weight taken out and a little bit of layering towards the bottom. But I gave her some really cool long bangs. I absolutely loved my bangs for this. I wanted to give her pretty bangs, and I colored her bangs the same way. I did a more orange on her bangs than I did the rest of her hair, just because I wanted that orange to really show, especially around her face. So for that, I sectioned her off once again into 4 quadrants. Right behind the ear is where I like to do mine. Oops. And then I pinned this back layer. So technically it was 3 quadrants, not 4. And I pinned her up with a few different pins because she does have shorter layers. And I just kept her pretty darn close to the base of the neck and just worked my way up her hair until we had this all cut into one length, like so. And then I wanted her to have an angle because I wanted her face to be a little bit longer towards the front. So I have her a little bit of an angle here. So what I did was with that sectioning, I pulled it back over her ear, lined it up with her back, and I cut. And I wanted a little bit of more of a defined angle. So I actually did come through and angle her just a little bit more through there on both sides. So then we turned her and I did it the other way. So she has this really pretty defined angle through there that I really liked a lot. I did this cut because I feel like tulips are very symmetrical. The petals on the leaves, I feel like they are very kind of rounded. And so I felt like this was a good look for her since tulips were my inspiration. She did end up having quite a bit of weight back here. She's kind of a thick mannequin doll. So I ended up just sectioning some sections, pulling her out, and then taking my thinning shears and just thinning through the ends. And then underneath where she has kind of a defined calic being on a mannequin, her hair was kind of sticking straight out. So I made those a little bit shorter. So you get this pretty cupped blend that I thought went really, really well. After we were done with her, I let her process for 30 minutes with the simming colors on. Let her process for 30 minutes at the back. And then I used the coolest shampoo and conditioner that is on the market right now, in my opinion. Since I am a Vivid stylist, I like to consider myself a Vivid stylist. I have lots of clients that come in, and one of their biggest complaints is that they spend hours with me in the chair and then they go home and they see their color washing down the drain. So we'll get to the laminator in a second. But I used Keep Me Vivid shampoo and conditioner for her, which is one of my favorite products. One, smells delicious, and it keeps the color lasting long. So I actually keep my hair a semi-normal color during the summer. I have more vibrant colors in my hair, and I have actually used it on myself for red. And as we all know, as stylists, reds fade very, very quickly. So I actually tried this on myself and fell in love with that. But then we'll talk about the laminator that I used. After I shampooed and conditioned her, I went in with the Keep Me Vivid laminator, which basically reminds me of basically kind of sealing down the cuticle, locking in those colors. And so you spray it on a few times in the hair at the shampoo bowl. You let her set for about 2 minutes. I believe it's a minute, but I like to go just an extra minute just to make sure everything's really sealed down, especially after we put all those harsh chemicals on, and then rinse her out. And I have noticed just in doing this at the shampoo bowl that my colors aren't bleeding out like they normally do. I don't see as much bleed out as I do normally. She keeps more of her color, and she definitely stays vibrant. I'm a firm believer in this color. I have several clients that have come back 8 weeks later and their colors look like they did the day that they left my salon, except for they have new growth. So we always have to correct that, but their colors are still as vibrant as they were the day that they left me. So when I styled her, I actually wanted to keep her pretty smooth. So I did want a little bit of body, especially back here through the back. I wanted her to have, you know, a little bit of oomph through her back layering. So I actually sprayed her with some Miracle 20, which I love because it has so many protectants in it, such as thermal styling, humidity, frizz. This is one of my favorites, and it smells like cupcakes, so that's usually a selling point. It smells good. And I used the velvetizer on her, the Keep Me Vivid velvetizer. What I like about it is a UV filter. So I like that because it's not fading my colors whenever they go outside. And it smells good, and it's really, really silky. Has a really nice silky texture to it. Plus it adds a shine and gloss to my colors. So when they leave, they look very silky and very smooth. And clients, their one complaint usually is, I can never get my hair to look like you do. Well, one of those is we use really good products in salon, and normally you don't take them home. So we encourage you to take them home for that reason. So I did that, and then I wanted the little bit of oomph and volume through the back, but I didn't want like a super stiff hold. So I actually used Volume Builder. It has a 3 hold on it. Sprayed a little bit in my hands, worked it through her hair, and then I basically flat wrap blow dried her, where I just took the brush this way and over directed, and then took the brush this way and over directed until it was dry. I brushed her bangs this side, and then I went to the other side just to give it that nice pretty lay. I love those 3 products together for any of my clients, even if they're vivid or not, because that velvetizer I really do like, and I like that it does protect color from UVs. So once she was dried, I blow dried her, and once she was dried, I went through with my flat iron, and I just went through and straightened her hair, gave her a little bit of curl around the face, just a little bit of a twist in. I wanted to make sure everything laid pretty. So she has this little pretty little angled down, but she has not too much of a stack, but she does have a little bit of a stack back there with lots and lots of volume through the back, which is what I like. And then she angles around to the front. And then her bangs I like because I like them long. I think that that's a very pretty look for this. It gives it a little bit of sass and a little bit of spunk. Granted, I don't know that she'll be able to see, but that's okay. And so as for take-home products for her, one of my biggest recommendations, obviously, is she's a Vivid client, so I need to send her out the door with something that's going to protect her hair, as well as keep her beautiful colors very long lasting. These pinks and orange that we have going through there aren't going to last if you don't take care of them. If you walk out the door and use Head and Shoulders, it's probably going to strip all your color. So I would definitely send her home with these 3 products. Very much so encourage her for shampoo and conditioner to keep me vivid. And then I would also recommend sending her home with the laminator. Just explaining to her that the laminator is going to seal down those cuticles so that it's less likely for color to leak out. And then for styling, I guess it kind of depends for me on how she's going to style her hair, how she wants to style her hair. Most clients that I have been around, one of their big concerns is the fact that they don't have a lot of body in their hair or a lot of hold. So I would definitely recommend sending them home with the Volume Builder Mousse, and explain to them that a little goes a long ways. Run it through your hair. Explain to them that they need to rough dry their hair first and then apply the product, because water is just going to dilute that product when they put it in their hair, and it's not going to do much good, which I think is something that a lot of clients do. They put it onto, you know, towel dried hair, and it just doesn't work like it does here, because we normally rough dry our clients. And then I highly recommend a leave-in conditioner, thermal styler, protectant, humidity protectant, frizz protectant. Here in Oklahoma, where it's been super windy, it's going to help with some of that frizz, and the humidity is always crazy here. So I would definitely recommend the Miracle Creator 20 for my client. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you have any questions, I will link all of my information in my resume. Thank you.